us. This dusty haze comes right after last week's heavy rainfall, which caused historic flooding throughout New South Wales. Was a dust storm on anyone's bingo card right now, or is this something that is common this time of year for Australia?
Well, all of these factors that created this dust storm are nothing but out of the ordinary. While sometimes we do see a dust storm in South Australia, the conditions that created the storm were, one, a really powerful cold front that moved through. We had gale force winds over 40 miles per hour, and that picked up a lot of loose topsoil. But South Australia is not necessarily a desert climate. I'd compare it to Texas. It's very arid, but not necessarily maybe Arizona. So we had so much loose topsoil because we've seen record low rainfall this year. Some of the areas across South Australia, their lowest rainfall on record. So that's created just dusty and dirt conditions, which created the topsoil, picked up by those winds, and then traveled over 700 miles all the way to Sydney.
Marina, we actually have the radar from Monday, and I want to jump in and take a look at it with you. So I'm going to head over to the expert desk because it's really interesting when you can see these large features that move across the island continent, and it was all due to a low pressure and then an attendant cold front that really scooped up all of this dust. Speak to some of your experience as well. I mean, those hazy skies, it seems a bit apocalyptic.
It definitely was. And, you know, I'm from Florida originally, clearly by the accent. So sometimes in Florida, we do see that dust in the air. It moves across the Saharan. But what we typically see isn't quite like this. The view behind me was just yellow and orange. It was something like out of a sci-fi movie.
Yeah, and for Sydney, thankfully a lot of this sort of missed the major harbor city with the dense orange clouds and stuff. But you mentioned, too, that there's some drought that's been going on, and that can lend a hand to some of the dust storms that folks in Australia can see. Can you speak to some of the drought as well across the continent?
Well, the drought specifically in South Australia has actually been a record for many. We've seen record low rainfall, less than 6 millimeters of rainfall, where typically they're receiving about 150 millimeters per year. And that's where they should be. So record low rainfall has created just dusty conditions on a day-to-day basis. People
Great service, great brands and great value. Bingley, better living every day.
Save $150 with L-Gas. Local, safe and reliable LPG delivery Australia-wide.
Much for joining us on your early morning, to say the least. We really appreciate it.